Hello and welcome back to Fancy Football and Red London Round. This is the fan reaction of the UEFA Champions League match between Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain. Is Paris Saint-Germain advantage in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League? And with me on the show is um Tieba Banks. How are you, my brother?
Bro, I'm good. I'm fine. I can't complain. Watch the game. Very good game. And I believe we're going to get into it. And by the way, guys, while you're watching live, you're not watching live, please make sure you're smashing the likes and you're subscribing to the channel as well. So big up to
Okay,
everybody, man.
okay. We did a live with Paul. Paul, how are you doing and how are you feeling after the match?
It is what it is. I'm fine. We win some, we lose some, so I'm good. Hi, Temba. How you doing?
Paul, I'm fine. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I just want to, you know, against Madrid, people were giving the credit to Declan Rice. And I remember saying to somebody, I said, Declan Rice is getting the praise, but there was somebody that was actually doing the job and he's not getting the praise. And today, the guy is not playing today, and we'll get to see how open the midfield was. Thomas Partey did not get the credit he deserves in that game against Madrid because of those sublime free kicks from Declan Rice. But honestly, man, watching the game today with that team just indicates or prove my point of what I was saying about Thomas Partey. But we'll get into it though. We'll get into the old conversation.
Okay,
We'll
we'll
get
get
into
into
it.
the whole conversation of the match. Is I think for me, uh, if we look at the game in general, let me just give my own rendition before any other person before you guys can take it. If you look at the game in summary, it was all about the midfield in that game, and there was nobody. Declan Rice cannot do the job alone. I keep on. I said that during the live show. Declan Rice cannot do the job in that midfield alone. He can't do that job. He can't do the running. He can't do the defending, and that is why you see Arsenal as they've always been successful throughout the Champions League, and that is why they remain unbeaten up to this stage because you
No, they
have
are not
Declan
unbeaten.
Rice. Okay, they're not unbeaten. Okay,
Yeah,
but
they've lost to Inter.
okay, they did lost to Inter, so they are not unbeaten. But you can look how solid their solidity depends on Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, whether we like it or not. Declan Rice have the leg to run the midfield, which he didn't really do today because there was no Partey, because he has to defend and he cannot attack as well. So I just think that, and also where Arsenal also lost it, I was looking at the Arsenal's bench. Who will come in and change something? Who would change anything in that bench? There was nobody on that bench, no single soul on that bench, and that is why the manager did not make any substitution rather than one or two that will affect the game. But this is football, and this is the price you have to pay when you make decisions like this. Over to you, Paul.
It's a good one. I will not say I'm totally happy because what I expected from them, that is Arsenal, my boys, it wasn't. The composure that PSG have. They don't care to know where they are playing. They just I've noticed something about PSG. They did the same thing against Aston Villa. It's like they give everything they have in first half just to see what they give everything they have in first half.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the match against Aston Villa, same thing happened in second leg. First half, they dominated the game and everything, but second half, they were a bit relaxed. They allow it was even second half, Arsenal started then getting some few chances. The only clear chance they have was the one given to Martinelli.
Yeah.
So for me, I believe PSG they are the better side. So for me, if Arsenal continue play this way, the way they played in this first leg, they take the same spirit or mentality to France, the PSG will still beat them there. Unless they change the mentality. And I'm grateful that Partey is going to be available, but not in this situation. This is not the situation I want him to be, because now the pressure is on Arsenal, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And going to France, you want to come all out because you are losing, and doing that to PSG, this PSG is a very dangerous move. So for me, the better side won the game.
What do you, Timber?
Well, one thing is this, man. The game is a good game. I don't want to lie to you. You had everything. But what I will say about this, the pressing, first of all, from PSG was crazy. It was too much. But Arsenal, we didn't. I actually not see Arsenal pressing. I did not see Arsenal pressing, and like you said, it was a midfield battle. You look at PSG, they've got Bentia, they have Fabian Ruiz and João Neves. And you look at Arsenal, they've got Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Mikel Merino. In my own opinion, Martin Odegaard have been ghosting for a while. Like,
Yeah,
it
sure.
How?
felt as if ghosting, he has, I've not been saying it. Like, even in today's game, it felt as if Odegaard was staying behind PSG's players, but like he was hiding, whereby people would not be able to pass him the ball. That's how it felt. And for me, I do not understand what Arteta was doing. And this is the problem I've been having with Arteta, whereby you have, they might not be the same quality, but the honest truth is this, man. Like, how bad can 8 and 1 be, whereby he should be sitting on the bench and you are watching Martin Odegaard dropping a stinker and you cannot sub him off. You do not have anybody on the bench that can actually come in and win games. But at least this kid is special. You brought him on in 90th minute, 90 minutes. And in the 5 minutes he played, you could actually say he played way better than Martin Odegaard who played 90 minutes. Because immediately he came in, you could see his effect. And now that makes you ask the question, like, what is Arteta doing? What is going through his mind? Now, coming to the lineup, when I said lineup, I almost wanted to laugh. Now, the thing is this, you brought back Mikel Merino. Why don't you just drop him to the bench, brother? Because in my own opinion, I believe Mikel Merino in that midfield will not, he not perform. And this guy is somebody I've been delivering you when you play him as a striker. Why you just keep doing that? Because this is the same thing we saw from Mateta last season, whereby you have a player you can have at. This guy has been scoring goals as a first nine. You are playing as a striker. He's scoring goals. Then in the most important game of the season, that decides if Arsenal are going to be in the title race or not against Aston Villa, you then decide to play him as a midfielder. And what happened? You lost the game. You look at today, instead of playing Mikel Merino in the midfield, you can play anybody else in the midfield. You can play Trossard in the midfield because Trossard can play as a 10 and Brighton from the wing. Brighton can play as a 10. And then if you go to the bench, there are still some few people you can actually put
Like
in
who?
eating
Like who?
one.
Like who? Like who in that bench?
One area can be there. One area can be there playing one area Odegaard and right. Because sometimes if you are playing a 4-3-2-1 formation, you can also play a 4-1-2-3 formation as well. Switch it over now you have Declan Rice will stay, Then the time did that in memory and what's his name? Um, Odegaard. But one thing I would keep saying, it's just the same thing I've always said that when you look at that squad, 750 million pounds has been spent on it, and it does not show. And the honest truth, this is why I keep saying I don't believe Arsenal are ready to win the Premiership because not because I don't think they're not good enough, but I believe they don't have the squad depth to go for it. And what I would say is, man, you have somebody like Gyökeres comes into this team. You have somebody like Gabriel Jesus come into this team. Then you can say maybe they can go for it next season. But the way they are going currently, it's not it. And like I said, Thomas Partey, if Arsenal are looking to get rid of Thomas Partey, maybe because of his age or something, they must make sure that they have somebody on ground already that is coming to replace him. Because if a player can have such effect in a team whereby he played against Madrid, everybody was flourishing. They thought that okay, yes, they were doing the job, and now the guy is not ready for the game, and all of a sudden it looks as if they don't know what they're doing. He get to tell you how concrete that guy is in that team. And I know many people are going in on Trossard, going in on Martinelli, saying they should be scoring that goal. And I feel like I watched the those saves from Donnarumma. Those two saves are
Yeah,
worth the save because
fantastic, fantastic save.
people think Martinelli is crap. He's not crap. He placed the ball proper. He placed it, and if you watch the ball, you will see that Donnarumma was full stretch. So he cannot tell you that the guy did what he did, just that the goalkeeper was just exceptional on the night. Trossard the same thing. But one thing is this, man, and I was thinking Arteta would have actually put Ben White because one thing I will say is this:
You
Ben
actually
White,
signed Ben White.
yeah, Ben White, yeah, because Ben White was naturally a centre back. The reason why Ben White started playing as a right back was because of injury crisis Arsenal had. So I was shocked because I know Ben White had been back from injury a long time ago. I was surprised that Ben White was on the bench and Kivio was playing. I'm not saying that Ben White will play, might not really have, might not have a bad game. He might have a bad game, but sometimes you also need to put consideration to players whereby you know, yes, I can rely on this guy to give me proper performances. And that's the honest truth. So coming to that game, man, I just think the second leg is going to be massive. Yes, they have somebody like what's his name is coming back. Thomas Partey is coming back for that second leg. What
Is
I
party
would
is the return of party to the second leg? Is it enough to propel us now?
no, it all depends because one thing we cannot really shy away from is the fact that PSG have been tremendous this season. Like
Yeah,
PSG haven't lost a game, or they only lost in the week midweek against Nice, 3 goals to
yeah.
one. And I saw many people were like, "Hey, we will smash them." I'm like, bro, you cannot be taken into contest that they lost 3 goals to one. I can tell you they don't even care about it because the league has been sealed, done, and delivered.
Yeah.
So Luis Enrique might not really look that as anything. Yes, it might be a good thing to go for invisible, but at the end of the day, they've won the trophy. Right now, their goals is on the Champions League and the FA Cup for French
For
team.
yeah.
And the next truth is this, man. It's not like PSG are not a good team. PSG have smashed Man City. They've beaten Liverpool. Who else? Aston Villa. Now they're facing what's his name? Arsenal. On the second leg, if Arteta has it, they will have to come outside. They will have to come outside. Party will be available. Maybe you can drop Odegaard. I'm sorry, man. Drop him. Let's see somebody else. Let's eat him play from the beginning. Because it doesn't make sense whereby you have a kid, you gave only 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes he came on and he played way better than what we saw from another player for 90 minutes. The guy was dropping sling card because if they get to go to Paris,
Yeah.
I don't think it will be an easy game. I don't think so. So this PSG team are a team whereby I've been saying it from the beginning that they are among the favorites. They're among the favorites because another good thing about the team is that they don't do this. The project of the club have changed from those kind of galactical kind of signings to
Yeah.
playing more as a team.
Excuse me.
Arsenal, I will say it again, Arsenal was able to beat Real Madrid because of the fact that they played as one, played as a team. Not because that when you play, you say one player for this player, one player for this player on paper, they are better than that Madrid. They are not. It's the fact that they can play as a team. That was why they won the game. And right now, PSG as well are a team that does not play individual football. They play as a team as well. They play as a team and they've got good stars, projects at their disposal at this point in time. And for me, if PSG could get to the final, I think they can. They can win it. I don't care who they place. Like from the PSG I've seen from the beginning of the season, and the Osman Dembele, I see people talking about Ballon d'Or, and nobody is talking about Osman Dembele.
Yeah. Yeah.
The, that guy has played 25 games in 2025 and he has scored 26 goals. So the fact that people are not really talking about him is just crazy to me. And whatever Eric has done so far, that man is doing tremendous, like proper stuff.
Yeah.
I just hope when Ateta goes to the second leg, all this is dark art nonsense. They have to stop those bullshit man, and play football, man. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Uh, okay.
They were busy celebrating that free kick. I said, it is offside. I saw it. Because there is no way you do such a thing and you will not be off. There is no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might have done it in the
No, it
past
was. It
before.
was. It was. It was really. It was close. I think it was close. Just a quarter of a yard offside. Okay. Paul, what do you think should change in the second half, in the second leg?
Their mentality. Because if, like Temba said, the team, the way PSG are playing now,
Yeah.
as in they are playing more of a team than individual. If you check the team, apart from Dembele, it as in, all those boys, they are very young, they are pacey, they are strong, so they play more as a team. Unlike when Mbappe was there. So now, and I'll have to give what's his name, Luis Enrique, his credit because in a short period of time from October when Arsenal played them to this time, it's not up to 7 months. Look at their team, look at the transformation. So you have to give him his credit. But Arsenal, like you said, there is no squad depth. No squad depth at all. Temba was talking about Martin Odegaard. I told you when we were
Yeah.
when we were
Yeah. You
live.
did. Yeah. You did.
He is not in this match. He is not in the match. But I understand the fact why. I don't understand the fact why Ateta did not bring him out. Maybe because he's the captain. You know, there are some certain players that they will be playing, even if they are doing what is not right. But sometimes, in a moment, they can just chip in something. I guess that's the reason why he's still in the pitch up to that moment. But for me, bring him out. You have Etin. Etin Wanere is the only option
And I even said so in the match. I
we
said
have
so in
on
the
that
match.
bench.
Yeah.
So if they continue this way, if they play this way, the way they play today in France, 1-0 will be too small. They'll
Okay.
pack it. They'll collect enough.
They will pump it.
Okay. We just have 5 more minutes towards the end of the show.
Well, it's the fact, man. Because once this, man, I don't understand what what Ateta was even doing initially. Because you have Fabio, is it Fabio Vieira that
Yeah.
went on loan to Porto. That guy is also a 10. It's just that there's this thing Ateta does whereby it doesn't give people chances. I don't understand. So why you signing them? You're signing guys, putting them on the bench and not giving them chances. And this is one thing that play always plays against Arsenal or him as a coach as well. Because the likes of Saka and Martin Odegaard knows very well that there is no amount of stinkers I am going to drop. I still get to be in the first 11. We saw it earlier when before Saka went for an injury. Man was dropping stinkers upon stinkers upon stinkers. Yet he could not say, yeah, bro, you are dropping stinkers. Sit down, let Nelson play. No, he was still using Saka anyway. Martin Odegaard has been dropping stinkers for how long? He's still using him anyway. Even with the fact that a kid, I've shown you, I've got, you still keeping him on the bench. You lost somebody like Evan to United. You lost Obi Martins to United. Tell me how bad can it be whereby if Obi Martins was still at Arsenal Academy right now, you won't go there and bring him up and say, come and strike for us. We have an injury crisis. And these were things we saw under Arsene Wenger, which it doesn't make any sense to me. When I see people trying to defend this guy called later, it pisses me off. Because I've
They have
been
to
here,
defend
I've
they
seen,
have to defend their manager to some extent.
it's mad, it's crazy. Because
They have to defend their manager to some
this
extent.
top four second they're talking about. Because initially,
Yeah.
this second Arsenal on the table right now, man like Arsene Wenger was getting top four without signings. He will go to the bench, go and bring players out and do something with them. But with Ateta, they will defend and defend and defend and my God, somebody even said it on the stream. He said on the comment, he said, even a guard of honor, Arsenal are still second. Meaning Tottenham have given Liverpool a guard of honor already. They are second. And people will tell you he's ready. We are one player away from top winning the league. There's no way. Because the signings they made is just crazy for me. How do you sign a midfielder for 404 million, 405 million pounds? It's a midfielder. Whereby you should go for a clinical striker. It will be good. Going to PSG, the mentality has to be right. When you get there, just know for sure that we are kicking off from the very single minute. Look for an early goal. And also make sure the shape is kept properly because with PSG, one thing I've seen from that team is that they will be able to push, they will be able to punish you when it comes to counter. They have a player like Osman Dembele, whereby the pace is crazy. Kvaratskhelia, his pace is mad. Then you have somebody like Desiree Due as well. Man was busy cooking everybody today. That's how good that's how good that kid is. So for me, it's going to be hard, but this is football.
Anything
This
can
is it
happen.
is not this is football. Anything can happen. But from here on, watching what Arsenal did today, you don't want to repeat that same performance against PSG in Paris. It's not going to go well. Like Paul said, you're not going to be one.
Okay, guys.
So
Okay.
that's the
So
thing, man.
so
Honestly,
so then so because of tight schedule that most of us have, will not expand the show as we used to. But um, for my end, my final take will be: this is football. Anything can still happen. Anything
yeah,
can happen. To be frank,
I agree. I agree.
anything can happen.
And it's
Anything
one
can happen in
zero.
Paris. So, but I know it's gonna be hard for Arsenal, but they should keep an open mind. It's just 1-0.
Yeah,
Um,
I told you,
one
but
nil,
then
and
against
anything can still happen. Final take, Paul.
When you say anything can happen, anything can happen if you have the right mentality. You don't you have the wrong mentality and you expect anything can happen. You get beaten again.
And so the
So
kind of thing that
you
happened.
have to have the right mentality before anything
But
can happen.
but
So for me,
this
for
was
me,
same team that beat Real Madrid home and away against
Yeah.
it
Olympic.
tells you how bad. See, I told you
How
before.
bad? Madrid was bad,
I
man. Madrid was
I
bad.
told you on our preview. I told you
Yeah.
on our preview that the confidence I had when we want to play Madrid is different from what
It's
I
true.
have
Absolutely.
on
Absolutely. You
PSG.
mentioned
I
it. You
told
mentioned
you
it. Absolutely.
because I've watched Madrid. I know that they don't have this team for now. They are playing individual football. But PSG, on the other hand, you can see the flow. You
Yeah.
see how they
23
punish
passes that led
Liverpool.
to that goal. 23 passes that led to that goal. 23.
Ball possession
Just
to,
imagine.
to PSG. Most passes, most complete passes, PSG. What only shot on target? I think Arsenal had more than them. So you this team now, you say anything can happen. Anything can happen when you have the right mentality. So for me, I will reserve my comment until I
The
see
thing
the
happened.
way
Until the
the
thing
first
happened.
5 minutes. No, until I see the first 5 minutes, the approach Arsenal will take to the game. Before I'll know if anything can happen or we'll pack our bag and come home.
And so,
That's it
Okay,
for
guys.
sure.
Thank you for being part of the show today. Thank you for
big up, big up, big
the
up, man.
entertainment.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week on Wednesday when we'll come back with an interesting show.
All right, Temba, thanks for joining the
Thank you
Yeah,
show.
guys.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for joining
Nice,
us.
nice, 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 nice.